My name is Udemeh Benedict so Dannaz FC midfielder. I'm from Oshimili South Local Government of Delta State. This is my story. Okay, actually, I was born in Ikeja, Lagos, specifically Ayinke House, the maternity hospital close to Lasut. I'm the first of 4 kids, and growing up for me, I think I would say I was born into a sports-oriented family because my dad, he did a bit of athletics during his school days. So for me, I think when I was growing up, I was an AC Milan fan because during that period, AC Milan was the reigning team. Everybody, I had an AC Milan jersey. I think my dad bought me my first boot. I can remember quite well. It was a white boot, and I'll dress in my AC Milan kit and wear the boots, and I'll just keep running around the house. In our compound that period, there were sometimes my dad would come out with ball and he would just throw balls to me and I'll kick it back. And people of the compound would just look as if we're doing something funny. But to him, it was just trying to continue the tradition of sports within the house. So my primary school was in Mafoluku Oshoji, Dominican Nursery Primary School. During that period also, I continued with the sporting activity I was doing. I played for the school team, participated in relays and stuff, won a couple of medals. And I wasn't really thinking in the line of football because, like every growing child, we always want to be a doctor or an engineer, stuff like that. But as I was maturing and I got into secondary school, I saw that I was getting better in sporting activities. I also took part in the school team. In my secondary school at Udemeh, that's St. Francis Catholic Secondary School, I was part of the school team. There's this our coach then, Coach Sebastian. I remember every morning then, he used to, when we were going on jogging, he used to hold cane behind us. So any of us that is lagging behind and slowing down, you just use the cane and you increase your speed again. So during that period, it was like, I noticed that it was something I enjoyed. So it was something I was looking forward to. I would say that was how my love for football began. That was where it developed because I could go to any length. That was when I started waking up by 4:30 just to get to school early to partake, because that time our school we have the training in the mornings, then assembly. So you have to get to the school very early. If not, you won't take part in the training. So I was waking up around 5 because then we're living at 5-star in Mushi, that Ilasamaja area. So from there to school, my school is at Udemeh. I have to take a long trip, so I had to wake up really early. And then they changed it to evening trainings. So after everyone is gone, we start training around 4 and finish around 6:30. There was one time I was so tired, and then in the bus I slept off, and the bus took me past my bus stop. And then when I woke up, I was like, where am I? I just begged conductor, say, I beg, make her come down. I don't lose. You get that kind of thing. So when I eventually came down, that time I think they were giving me 180 naira to go to school. Hoping that, okay, I've spent all the money, I'll stop at my bus stop and trek home. Now I got down like 20 kilometers after. I had to trek back. So that day I was getting on my hand to 8. They were already waiting for me outside, worrying that maybe something happened. So I think during that period we moved away from Ilasa. We came to Alimosho, ELEGBETE to be precise. So it was after when we moved that I really started taking football seriously, because I now joined the local academy in ELEGBETE area. It was Unique Vision Soccer Academy. Our coach is Coach Lawal Sulaiman. Anybody that trains in Alimosho, you heard the name very well. So that was the basics of football. That was where I learned everything. The fitness, the positions. He actually took me through the basics of football. So I would say in my career, his most influential coach in my career. So I played for Unique Vision for about 2 years. In that same field, Ebenezer Nursery and Primary School, where we train, there was another team training there, but they are a little bit more matured. So I saw it as a step above where I started. So when I joined them, we started going out to play friendly matches, especially at Agege. So after Unique Vision, I joined Olonwa Football Academy in the same field in Ebenezer Primary School. So that was when we started going out to play games, friendly matches at Agege, Ikeja. We were going away very well. So there was this day we went to Bako Amo at Agege. It's a very centrally located field at Agege. It's 8 aside, I think. So that very day, we started playing the game, and then anybody that plays in Agege, Agege fans are very passionate and they are very violent. So we wanted to, as the game was going, we were dominating the game. And then they started threatening us because the way the field is, the fans are very, very close, as in very, very close to the post, to the lane, everywhere. So we got a free kick, and now I was the one to play the free kick. And I played the free kick because at that time it was 0-0. I played the free kick, he hit the bar and came back. So some area boys at the back of the post, and now shout, Olorun ye pe ko wole. It means that God saved me that I didn't enter. I wouldn't have left the field that day, that goal had entered. So during the halftime, unknowing to me, there was a coach, the coach of LSDPC was present that day, Coach Rafiu Taiwo. We call him Babaji. He's a very dark short man. He was present there. So at halftime, he contacted my coach that I should come. But because of the crowd, they didn't get to me on time, and we're already going back to the second half. So he just said after the game that I should drop my number, that he's interested in me. So after the game, my coach told me, and he said he gave me the number that I should call the man, and the man wants me in his team. That was LSDPC. So we played the match on a Friday. The following Monday, they had training. I think they were training at Border. There's this field at I can't quite remember the name, but Dosu's team trains at that field too. So that was where LSDPC were training at that time. I would say my going to LSDPC was actually the first amateur football that I was going to experience, because I learned a lot when I got there. Actually, when I got there, they were in the semi-final of the FA Cup that year. So when I just got there, I was just doing observing. The man just said I should just come around and just sit and watch. That whatever is going to happen is going to be from next season. So I was going to their games, I was attending their training, I was taking part in training, but I was not part of any official. I was just there to watch. But what I noticed was that the man knew I was good. He knew I had talent, but I had a lot of teaching needed. Even personally, I noticed it, because when I get on the field, I noticed that their pattern of play was very quick. They were quick to pass, quick to react, and I was always slow. It was a situation where if they give me a pass, before I react to think of what to do, like 2 or 3 people, you understand. But as time went on, I saw that I started getting used to the speed and everything, the tactical play, everything. I think along with Coach Sulaimon, the Coach Rafi is also someone that I believe impacted my career, because we did a lot of tactical plays around. We do 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, 4 versus 4. So after that year passed, that was January 2014. That was when I officially signed for the team. So I was given an official jersey, boots, and stuff like that. So I started partaking. I joined the full preseason. In as much as I've been there from the previous year, he treated me like a new player also. I was go on trial. So I did the whole trial period like every other new player, and then I was officially integrated into the team. I think my first appearance with LSDPC was in the quarter final of the FA Cup. I can't quite remember. I think it was 2015 or so. It was a new experience for me. I would say that was the first time I was playing on a standard organized competition by an FA. When I entered the field, I was lost. I won't lie to you. I was lost. As in, I entered about 15 minutes to the end of the game. I was struggling to even maintain my position, let alone impact the game. But it was a learning experience for me because that was the first time I was playing in front of a huge crowd, the tempo of the game and stuff like that. So I think LSDPC was a very important learning curve for me in my career. And then after LSDPC, things started to fall apart there because there was a time we qualified for the playoff. One year, it was in 2015, we qualified for the playoff to play in the Amateur 1, but they sold the space. And the next year, the following year, we qualified again, and then Baba, that's Coach Rafiu, he decided that his own players were not good enough to take to the playoff, and he went and recruited players from another team to take to the playoff, because obviously, like, there were rumors that he knows his own players would demand more money because the invited players will not have the same rights as old players. So the thing that happened that period, it just made me realize that okay, I need to find some place else if I want to further my career, because at LSDPC I noticed that they were not really concerned about the future of you as a player. What they were just concerned about is just for you to show up, play for them in the league, play for them in the FA Cup, and that's that. Because I think they were paying us an allowance of 5k. That was also the first period in my life that I started earning something from. They were paying us a 5k for monthly, and then every match our winning bonus is 5k. If we draw the match, they'll give us 2.5. If we lose, sometimes if they're happy, if we perform well but we lose, they'll still give us 2.5. But if the performance is very poor, we won't see any money. But not that the money will not be released from the office, but the coaches will just decide to hold on to the money. You understand? So, coupled with everything, I just decided, okay, in that same period, there was my friend David. We're also in LSDPC together. So, through Coach Sulaiman, back when I was in ELEGBETE, he said there was a manager trying to bring together a team, that he has a program for them. That was at IBADAN. So we had to go for the trial at IBADAN. So I told David, because he was also experiencing the same thing I was experiencing, and I said, okay, see guy, see wetin dey happen for IBADAN, shey you go. He said, no wahala. He said, but money no deal. I said, guys, see, as far as say we get money 1,000, take reach IBADAN. If we reach IBADAN, we go sort ourselves. So I left first. When I got to IBADAN, truthfully, I went there with only my transport. When I got to IBADAN, the first night, I didn't eat. So we started the screening the next day at Olubadan. What did you say? Yeah, the place, actually, there was accommodation because the man had a hotel. So we were lodged in the hotel during the trial period. You understand? The trial was held at Olubadan Stadium in Ibadan. So we had done like 3 days of the screening before David arrived. So he called me and said, how far? I said, just come. We still do the screening, but me I know what you fit do. If you come, if they see you. So he came. Luckily, after the screening, we both made the team. And we were required to stay back at Ibadan. So we went back home, we planned, brought our stuffs, and we came. During Ibadan was not very rosy because there were sometimes we went to training without food. There were sometimes we train in the morning because we were training twice. We were in camp. We were training twice in the morning and in the evening. There was sometimes we train in the morning, we eat, and in the evening no food. There were sometimes after training we have to go into town, into the villages. I think there was 1 week we were living on just pawpaw. pawpaw that we pluck from tree. Because after training, we now decide to walk into the town, we see pawpaw from people's farm, we take it and then we go back home and just eat. After some period, now we're able to make friends with some of the indigenes of the place, because I noticed that when you go into a rural area, they really like footballers. I don't know why. So the woman, there was one particular woman, they call her Iyarofia back there in Ibadan. This woman will always, anytime she has gari, she will make a bar, she will make stew for us, because our camp was sharing a wall. Her house was behind our camp, so she would just call us from there. So once we just drop our kit after training, we just shower, we just sharply go to our place. And again, she had a well. You know, in all those rural areas, sometimes during the dry season, if your well is not very deep, water will dry up. So we have to go to our place to go and get water to fetch. That was how we became close. It was during that period at Ibadan I got my first how would I put this, interest to play abroad, because during our games we had video coverage and stuff like that. So I think the interest gauge was from Cape Verde, so they had already watched my video and okay, they said they were interested. I've actually even done a video call with the agent, with the coach of the team, and with my own manager as well, because he had already traveled to Cape Verde. So I already had video call with them, talked to them and everything. So when we started the processing and everything, looking back at it now, I think the mistake came from my manager, because he didn't inform the team the exact day I was to arrive. So they were not able to send the proper documents to the embassy there to expect my own arrival. So when I got to the embassy and to the airport there, and I showed my papers, they said they were not expecting me. That where is my invitation? So they delayed me for a couple of hours. I now told them that okay, so person, coach Mr. Dan, his name is Daniel Paul. I said okay, there's a Daniel Paul in the arrival, I should go and meet him and talk to him. That is the person I'm supposed to meet. So they were able to contact him, and when he came, they had the discussions. They brought the coach of the team I was to go to, I think it was Desportivo in Cape Verde. They play in Cape Verde first division. So the man, all in all, they said the document I was with was not complete, that they cannot allow me in, that I have to go back and they have to start the processing over again. So it was very disappointing to me, because to me it was like, okay, this is it. You get as a footballer hustling, and then you see an offer that you've discussed even with the coach, with the team manager and everything. So they put me in a waiting room. I'll call it a cell, because there's nothing waiting about it. It's just a small room with like bunker beds. It's inside the same room they'll put people they want to deport. It's inside the same room they put people that they just released from prison, awaiting deportation. So I think I stayed there for about 3 days. The good thing about it is that the airline was providing food, but just once. The airline will provide food for you to eat. But the trauma was not easy, because when I got back to Nigeria, I didn't leave the house for about 4 months. I'm talking just eat, go back to bed, eat, go back to bed. I didn't step out. The first day I stepped out, I fainted, because the trauma, it really took a lot for me emotionally. So that was what made me, throughout the year of 2017, I say I took a break from football to at least get myself together, because it was not easy. It was not easy. Even my mom was starting to get scared. She was even forcing me, okay, at least go out. This one you're just staying inside. Go out. It's not the end of the world. But I think it's easier said than done. It's the person who experienced it, is the only person that can tell the story. Because staying in that kind of environment for 3 to 4 days and then coming back, all your hopes dashed. That time it was as if that was all and all, that I've lost my opportunity. So I took a break from football during the year of 2017. I didn't play football at all. at all. As in, anything football was just, I didn't want to hear it for the meantime. But deep down in my mind, I knew it was just a question of time. But this is something I love. This is something that is my passion. Deep down in my mind. So at the beginning of 2018, I moved to Surulere. I started staying with my cousin because he has an apartment in Surulere in Somosu, my cousin Femi. So during that period, there was this set, Friday evening sets. They usually play at Luth. There's one primary school in Luth. I can't quite remember the name, but it's in Luth, very close to the nursing school. This Friday set usually go and play. So that was what I started, and I said, okay, let me go and even playing sets at least. That was after almost a year. So I started playing sets. I started developing my love for the game back. I would say the love never left, though. It's just because of what happened that made everything seem that way. So as I started playing, and I started, okay, I've moved to Surulere now. What's the next thing? Let me find a team around to join. So that was towards the same time my friend David, the one we were together at LSDPC. So he called me and said, okay, that there's this team he has been going to, that he wants me to come. I said, okay, no wahala. Because that time, it was dicey to me. I said, another team again, person will go start again from all this stress. I said, okay, no wahala, I go come. So he has been telling me for a while. Then during that period, I got injured, so I could not go. So early January of this year, 2020, I think I now made up my mind that, okay, let me go to this place. That was how I joined Dannaz. So this is actually my first season with Dannaz, and I think it has been a good experience so far. I think from all the teams I've played, the organization here is very good, it's top notch, and the training pattern, the training programs is something that it will give you a close experience to how a professional team is handled. Sure, you understand. So I've been enjoying the experience so far, and taking it now down to the Surulere League is something that I've been hearing from day one since I joined the team. Surulere League, in addition to 5 other competitions that we're planning to take part in. So I think in terms of preparation, I'll say we are born prepared. We've been prepared since day one, since the beginning of the year. And I think the COVID-19 break or not, we are ready to give it a fight, give it a go. And I'm sure there's nobody out there that is training better than us. So whichever team, I don't care their reputation, I don't care their names, I don't care what they've done in the past. This is a new season, this is a new regime, let me put it like that. So, and over the lockdown period, we've been training. We've been having training programs sent to our groups and sending videos, doing tactical thinking, tactical tasking and stuff like that. So I think there's nobody better prepared than Dannaz FC going into the Surulere League. So I'm not going to say watch out. They shouldn't even watch out because they will not know what's coming. You understand? Because I can assure them that we will get 100% and more. So that's just what the Surulere League this year, we're going to win and we're coming to win. So that's just it. Yeah, in the beginning, like I said, my father has been sports oriented from the beginning. So my father there was not much real objection from my dad, but from my mom there was objection. Said this football, because a part of her side of growing up was her dad was a airplane engineer, so she was basically school oriented growing up. So she was one that was just hammering on it, but at a point when she saw that this boy no gree, because it was always becoming a point of conflict to us. When she's telling me, I say, see, mommy, stop telling me all these kind of things, leave me. So she saw that anytime she brought up the topic, my reaction was always negative and hostile. So she just stopped and said, okay, if it's what you want to do, may God see you through and bless you. And ever since then, it has just been support after support. No pressure. She's even the one that, even when I came back from my Cape Verde trip, she's the one that was telling me that, so you want to give up now, something that you say that you were complaining, disturbing me about, that I should just try and pick myself back up. I think she was part of the people that actually gave, because she was the one that picked me up from the airport when I got back. So she saw my mood during that period, so she was part of the people that helped me through. So apart from that, I think the support has been good from both sides of the family.